Both Kansas and Missouri Departments of Transportation have been working hard in order to prepare for this upcoming weekend snow. I'm Ty Parks. I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, we show you how Arkansas is pulling out all the stops for weekend storm preparations. And firewood and rock salt fly off the shelves in northeast Oklahoma.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Be prepared. We're expecting a winter storm to slam the 4 states this weekend, bringing snow and bitter cold. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. Let's go straight to meteorologist Austin Stantz in the Skywatch Weather Center for a first look at the storm.
Yeah, Tanya. So a winter storm looks to bring big impacts to the 4 states region. Now, there is still time to prepare. So don't get all worked up just yet, okay? You still have time to get to the store tomorrow. Just know that conditions begin deteriorating tonight. We have a winter storm warning in place across the 4 states through Sunday. As we head through tonight, cold front begins moving in as we head into tomorrow morning. Notice winds here, 25, 30, 35 miles per hour. It's going to feel much cooler heading into tomorrow. So if you're going to go out to the store and you're going to get the bread, you're going to get the milk, you get what you need, some water bottles, things like that, then you got to know that temperatures are going to be falling near zero is what it's going to feel like as you're heading out the door Friday morning. Now, there is still time to prepare, as I said, as we head into the overnight hours, really just looking at mostly cloudy conditions for our Friday. Snow begins moving in overnight Friday into Saturday, and coming up, we're going to break down all those details for you.
All right, thanks, Austin. The Departments of Transportation in both Kansas and Missouri are ready to roll out the trucks for the coming storm. KOAM's Ty Parks has more on their plans to make the streets safer.
4-state area is looking at its first major snowfall of the winter season, and the Missouri Department of Transportation has already been making plans.
We began planning early this week, getting all of our equipment ready and making sure that we've got a good game plan going into it. We've started having statewide meetings yesterday to coordinate between our districts and make sure that we've got a good solid game plan.
Cold temperatures make pre-treating the roads more difficult to do.
A cold pavement temperature, and we also have a dry, powdery snow that's coming down. If we have salt or something out there that's going to melt the snow, then that will turn into a liquid, refreeze, and then be stuck onto the pavement.
If you have to get out during the snowstorm, be aware of snowplows.
So it's best to slow down, drive for the conditions. If you do come across our plows, make sure you give them plenty of room. If at all possible, stay behind the plow. The roadway behind the plow is going to be in much better condition, and it's going to be much safer back there.
The Kansas Department of Transportation issued a statement which says in part, KDOT crews are pre-treating with brine some sections of the highway in the southwestern part of District 4, mostly in areas shielded from the north wind. In Missouri and Kansas, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
While it's best to stay off the roads during winter weather, if you have to travel, take it slow and give the snowplows plenty of room to work. Missouri agencies and forecasters join for a briefing this afternoon ahead of this weekend's winter storm as dangerous conditions threaten the 4 states. Multiple agencies are coordinating their response. Transportation officials and the Missouri State Highway Patrol outlined several safety measures, and Captain Scott White says the one thing he wants the public to take away is that this storm has the potential to be life-threatening if people are not prepared.
If you do not need to travel, do not travel. The most dangerous crashes that we see during the winter months are from people who underestimate the conditions and overestimate their abilities or the capability of their vehicle.
A representative from the National Weather Service was also in attendance. She says significant impacts to life are expected across southern Missouri, south of I-70, with uncertainty about how far north those impacts will extend. Now, dangerous cold is certain before, during, and after the snow. Winter storm preparations extend into northwest Arkansas, where road crews are working around the clock for this weekend's dangerous conditions. From pre-treating bridges to stocking ice slicers, officials are pulling out all the stops. Claire Everbach shows us how Arkansas is gearing up for battle.
We will be pre-treating every bridge and overpass across Arkansas. We'll do as much pre-treating with salt brine as we possibly can.
Dave Parker with the Arkansas Department of Transportation says crews are working ahead of the storm. He adds they even have other tools in their back pockets, depending on what Mother Nature decides to throw our way.
The super brine, which is the combination of beet juice mixed in with the salt brine, it lowers that freezing temperature, makes it harder for the roadway to freeze up. Not impossible, but makes it harder to do that.
In Washington County, county road crews are also putting in hours ahead of the storm.
We are stocked up on all of our supplies that we need to be stocked up for. Our ice slicer products in the shed, we're ready to roll there. All of our stuff's fueled up.
Judge Patrick Deakins says crews will work around the clock, starting with pre-treatment.
I always say this, every one of these weather responses is different. It's in its own form of war.
Workman's Travel Center General Manager Stephanie Lampro says truckers will still have to be out on the roads. She says they have tools to help those drivers who have to battle the elements.
We have additives that we put into our windshield washer fluid at the pump so they don't freeze up. We have a tractor that will clear the ice for everyone after the ice melt is in place. A lot of drivers need DEF, which is the diesel exhaust fluid. We've ordered an extra pallet of that.
The message from RDOT as we prepare: once roads become dangerous, stay home.
I try to stay home, especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if you possibly can. If you're out on the roadways, be safe, but just understand we're all trying to get through this together.
The Neosho Police Department launches a home reassurance program, reviving a free service unused for about 20 years. Residents who sign up receive daily exterior home checks by patrol officers during their absence. To enroll, proof of Neosho residency, such as a utility bill, and an emergency contact information are required. Each sign-up lasts 30 days with the option to renew.
Something that we're bringing back because we want to reconnect with our citizens and provide a service to our citizens that's meaningful and provides them reassurance when they're away from their homes.
The program is designed to provide peace of mind by promptly alerting homeowners of any suspicious activity or damage. Coming up, a new way to deliver medication to rural areas.
Drones are taking flight to help make healthcare a little more accessible to rural areas in Missouri. I'm Nellie Lopez with more details on that coming up.
And later we meet a 94-year-old teacher who says he's not ready to retire from the classroom. Drones will soon change how Missouri delivers healthcare to rural communities. A new partnership plans to use the aircraft to bring services closer to home. KOAM's Nellie Lopez stopped by Missouri Southern to check out a demonstration of the drones.
Drones are used to capture video, farming, make deliveries, and so much more. Now, a new partnership is bringing it to local healthcare.
So the Joplin Regional Alliance for Health is a collaboration between both Mercy and Freeman hospitals, as well as Missouri Southern, Kansas City University, Crowder College, City of Joplin, Chamber Foundation, really all about how do we make healthcare something that's accessible and affordable across our entire region.
Drones are a mechanism, a reliable, scalable, fast mechanism to move healthcare from large locations, tier 1 facilities, out to those rural communities so that we can help those people get better access to healthcare and a better quality of life.
So, how will they be used? Think medication. Drones would help minimize travel for patients, and it would help get it to them quicker.
Cruising speed of this aircraft is 80 miles an hour. The range is well over 100 miles, but 100 miles is our published kind of range that we have. Wind limits are up to 30 miles an hour. On the baseline payload, it's 5 pounds. Up to 12 to 15 pounds is the max payload.
People should not be at risk for dying early because of their zip code.
But it's not just medication. There are several delivery aspects to the medical industry, like transporting tissue samples.
April 1st is really about the drone hub that's opening in Rolla related to Midwest Transplant Institute. That will have drones taking flight in Missouri, dealing with literally saving lives by moving tissues, samples for matching for organ donation.
In Joplin, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
Well, the drone hub program could also be used during search and rescue emergency situations. Cases of heart disease and strokes are declining, but cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer in the U.S. A report by the American Heart Association found there was a 5-year increase in cardiovascular disease likely due to the COVID pandemic, but rates have been dropping. Even still, 1 in 4 deaths in the U.S. in 2023 were due to heart disease or stroke. Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later in this week's Doing Good segment, we show you how a Joplin shelter is offering more than beds to the homeless.
Well, again, this is kind of the calm before the storm right now, but conditions do begin to deteriorate slightly heading into this evening with much cooler temperatures ahead for our Friday. Right now, there's a winter storm warning across the entirety of the 4 states right now. These go between ending Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. Our Sunday afternoon one, this one here in Oklahoma, likely to be extended through Sunday evening. But again, nevertheless, winter storm warning in place, upgraded from a winter storm watch yesterday. Now, we also have extreme cold warnings that were upgraded from the watch yesterday as well. So much colder temperatures. I anticipate we're going to see those extended through the 4 states as well. Now, let's just get right to it, okay? Let's talk about some snow totals here. We notice the heaviest of the snow, again, consistently staying south of 44 right now. This is just one model. There's 4 or 5 different models that we look at, and one that combines them all together as well. So this is just one aspect of the data that's showing us. But what's been consistent is that the heaviest of the snow staying mainly to the south. Taking a look at our setup here, we have our cold front that's going to begin pushing down due to that Arctic high. It's going to drive it all the way down into Texas. Here's our upper level low off to the west. As this kicks out and moves east, that's what's going to provide lift for all that Gulf moisture to interact with that Arctic air to provide the setup for this system. So here's our jet stream dipping all the way down here as we look at our upper flow. Now notice this is kind of going to be a 2-wave situation. Our first wave going to come through Saturday morning. There's going to be a little bit of a cutoff here, and then we're going to have a little bit of a break in between, probably about 4-5 hours, and then a second wave is going to come through. This wave likely to be a little bit heavier due to the fact that that upper level low is going to be kicking northeast here. At least that's where it's tracking right now. So those 2 waves are imperative to the snow totals. If one of those changes even slightly, that is going to drastically affect the amount of snow that we see. All right, let's time some things out. Here we are Friday, 6 a.m., much colder. Like I said, winds out of the northeast, winds gusting anywhere 25 to 35 miles per hour. Becoming mostly cloudy. Heading into Friday afternoon, again, there's still some time out there. You can still prepare for this and get yourself situated to be indoors for a few days for the weekend and probably into Monday as well. Some snowfall begins to arrive late Friday night, overnight into early Saturday morning. Take a look at these temperatures, though. Very cold out there. Here comes our first wave moving through. Single-digit temperatures as well. Notice the time above me here. 4 p.m. we start to see a break in between some of this snowfall. That second wave then starts to move in Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon and then exiting the area by Sunday evening. Now, again, those 2 waves imperative to the snow totals, but also dealing with extreme cold here as well. These temperatures going to feel like negative 25 at times with the wind chill. Very cold. We'll be dealing with some heavy snow, slick roadways. Make sure you use the utmost caution on the roads, especially on bridges as they ice first, as all that cold air can just sweep under these bridges, really cooling down the roadways much quicker than you would see on your standard roadway. Now, here's my forecast for what we can expect heading into this weekend. 10 to 16 inches south of 44. The further south you go, the more snow you're going to see. As you go a little bit further north, that's when you'll start to see a little bit less accumulation as you head north. Now, we have alert days for Saturday and Sunday into Monday, a possible alert day there as well due to the extreme cold. And a lot of the snowfall going to be sticking around even into next week.
Yeah, that snow's not going to melt once it's on the ground. It's going to stick around till at least close to freezing.
Yeah, I hope everybody was ready for winter to arrive.
It's here, almost. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, we have the perfect way for you to stay ahead of severe weather season. Scan this QR code with your phone and head straight to the updated weather resources page on our website, where you can find information on storm shelters, weather updates, closings, and road conditions. You can also find tips for watching live streams in real time. It's called the Weather Resource page on KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, coming up next, a classroom legend.
At Altoona Midway Middle High School, one teacher continues to bring years of experience and a love for his students to the classroom. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
For nearly 3 decades, one teacher at Altoona Midway Middle High School continues to bring his love for teaching science to the classroom every day. KOAM's Kenny Foreman introduces us to 94-year-old Robert Pierce.
67 years ago, Robert Pierce was just a guy with a degree in agriculture and animal science from Oklahoma State. Wanting a different type of career, he applied for a teaching job at a school in West Texas, despite lacking the proper preparation.
The superintendent of that school hired me. I had no teaching experience, no teaching education at all, and he hired me based upon he knew that I had the qualifications to teach chemistry and biology.
After a few more stops throughout Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas, Pierce has called Altoona Midway home for the past 27 years, where he currently teaches several courses such as chemistry, physics, physical science, as well as a gardening horticulture class where he utilizes a greenhouse.
If I tell them how to do it, it sort of goes in one ear and out the other. They do not learn it, but they're going to get it out there. They have to plant the seeds, they'll have to transplant seeds, they have to multiply the plants.
He says he's always curious to learn more about his students, their interests, and the most recent trends. It helps him in his mission to ensure that he leaves a positive impact.
They're getting enough harshness in life without me adding to it. And if I can be friendly with them, I feel like that will help them when they get out of school to be friendly with other people.
Even at his age, Mr. Pierce has never seriously considered retirement, with his love for his students making it all the more harder to envision doing anything else.
I feel perfect just because of my age. I don't get around very well, but I feel fine. My brain's working well. And as long as I can get out of bed, get dressed by myself, drive my car here, I'm going to stay here as long as I can.
In Wilson County, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Pierce is thankful for the support Altoona Midway continues to show him and anticipates being able to teach there for at least 3 more years. Well, job site Glassdoor is out with its list of 100 best places to work in 2026, and I'm sure Pierce would say Altoona Midway is number 1. But actually taking the number 1 spot is the Indianapolis-based family-owned Crew Car Wash. The In-N-Out burger chain moved to number 2 spot on the list, which is based on employee reviews. And Navita came in 3rd. Glassdoor says the AI chip maker earns high marks for its transparent leadership and open communication. Ford Motor says it's recalling more than 100,000 cars, including some Focus, Escape, and MKC models. The automaker says a potential engine block heater issue increases the risk of fire. Coming up next, the Pittsburgh Library is helping seniors build confidence with technology and to avoid scams. The Pittsburgh Public Library is helping older adults build confidence with technology through a state-funded grant. The program supports adults ages 55 and older by teaching basic technology skills and raising awareness about common risk, including online scams, especially on social media and online marketplaces. It's not just about learning the technology, it's also about trusting instincts.
Older adults just need to trust their gut. I think that if they're in a situation where they're potentially being scammed by someone who is called pretending to be someone else that they know may be in need of money, and they think that it sounds weird or smells fishy, that they just need to hang up instead of continuing the conversation.
In addition, simple steps like restarting devices regularly, using trusted websites, and updating privacy settings can help seniors stay safer online. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Millions of Americans are bracing for a potentially historic winter storm. I'm Bane Froney in Dallas. I'll have the latest coming up.
And residents in Northeast Oklahoma stock up on firewood and salt before the storm hits.
You're watching The 4 States. most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Millions of Americans are in the path of a potentially historic winter storm that's expected to extend over 2,000 miles. Dangerous snow and ice could lead to prolonged power outages and major travel delays. Fox Weather's Bane Fernie has more from Dallas.
Gotta have snacks. After you shovel, you need something to get your energy back up.
Milk, bread, butter, peppers, I'm good.
And they're not alone. Folks from New Mexico to New York are bracing for a massive winter storm that's threatening more than 24 states. The system is expected to bring plenty of snow and ice, leaving people scrambling to stock up on essentials.
Got a lot of water, bread, things for the pets. Just mostly I'm worried about staying warm.
Road crews are already hard at work, pre-treating highways with salt and brine to stay ahead of the ice, but it won't be easy. Forecasters say a polar vortex will bring a dangerous refreeze that could paralyze travel for days.
If you hit an icy patch, you could lose control of the vehicle, you could leave the road, you could be stuck on the side of the road or in a ditch somewhere. And in this situation, it may be difficult for help to get to you as well.
Texas, North Carolina, and South Carolina have all declared states of emergency, and energy companies are mobilizing additional utility crews. The mix of snow and ice could send tree limbs and power lines crashing down, and state and local officials are urging people to take the time now to minimize any potential risk.
The first step is reducing your targets. So think about where your kids might be when the storm comes. Think about where you park your car. Think about, can you move that patio furniture?
Officials are urging people to stay home and take extra caution if they have to drive. In Dallas, Bane Fernie, Fox Weather.
Well, from the plains to the East Coast, the threat of a dangerous winter weekend storm is causing natural gas prices to skyrocket. Contracts for near-term U.S. natural gas futures jumped more than 70% so far this week. That's according to data from FactSet. Bloomberg says the increase means natural gas is tracking to see its biggest weekly jump since 1990. The extreme cold is not only driving up demand, but could disrupt gas flow through pipelines and deplete stockpiles. The demand could also derail production at key hubs across the country. As winter weather approaches northeast Oklahoma, residents are not waiting until the last minute to prepare. From stocking up on firewood to loading up on rock salt, folks are getting ready now before the storm hits. Chloe Abbott shows us how Tulsans are beating the rush to stay warm and safe.
Rickards Landscaping and Tree Service in Owasso has been busy this week with people coming in to load up their trucks.
Getting wood. I want to keep my house warm.
Paul is not the only one getting ready for the winter weather early.
I would hate to be out here in snow, in slush, trying to get a rick of firewood loaded. So it's best to be prepared now so that when the weather hits, you don't have to come do it when it's so cold.
Todd Rickert says people have been coming in nonstop to pick up wood, and he expects even more people to come to the yard in the next few days.
We'll actually have a line of cars backed up down here waiting to buy it out of this pile. You'll see cars, you'll see U-Haul trailers, you'll see U-Haul trucks, you'll see on occasion a random boat or something that somebody will fill up with firewood.
Both Paul and Joey say they have their firewood and a full pantry so they can stay home if the roads get too bad. A man at Ace Hardware was stocking up on salt now after learning his lesson.
A couple years ago when it was really bad, I think it was about 20 below zero, and literally our driveway's like this, and we weren't able to get up and down, and so I had to go out and dig for about 3 or 4 hours because I hadn't gotten the rock salt.
Rex says he went to the store today because salt sells out fast.
Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, doing good.
For over 40 years, Souls Harbor has been a light in the darkness for people experiencing hopelessness. For this week's Doing Good, we're going into Souls Harbor to see the kind of services they offer. I'm Ty Parks of that story coming up.
Well, if you wondered where winter was, it was hiding, stashing away a bunch of snowfall for this weekend. We're going to see a winter storm start to arrive late Friday night into Saturday morning. Winter storm warnings in place across the entirety of the 4 states right now. So Kansas, winter storm warning till Sunday at 6. Oklahoma, Sunday at 3 p.m. and Sunday at 6 here in Missouri and also in Arkansas. Now, we also have some extreme cold warnings. Right now, they're off to our south, but still portions of the 4 states involved: Bentonville, Grove, Miami, Bartlesville, excuse me. I expect we're going to see these extreme cold warnings actually extend across the entirety of the 4 states by the time we reach tomorrow evening. Now, here's our setup. Our cold air really begins driving in tonight. Our Gulf moisture begins moving in. But there is a little bit of uncertainty with the first wave. We're going to see 2 rounds of snowfall. That first wave there's a little uncertainty there because we have this really cold, dry air. And our low pressure is going to be hanging off to the west for that first wave. So is that cold, dry air going to dry out all that moisture until the low pressure begins to move in and really help some of that Gulf moisture move a little bit further north? That is what we are keeping our eye on as we head into this weekend. All right, let's talk about the potential for some snowfall totals before we begin timing things out here. So south of 44, what has been very consistent is models have shown that the heaviest of the snow is going to hang out south of 44 for the most part here. So 10 to 16 inches plus. I say plus because the further south you go, the more snow you're going to run into. We're still going to see heavy snow here north of 44, but it's going to be more moderate to heavy, where we could see anywhere from 6 to 12 inches. You get closer to 70 into Kansas City, you're looking more 4 to 8 inches. Now, if that track of that low pressure begins to change at all, that could fluctuate a little bit, but we're going to keep a close eye on that. Here's our setup now. Okay, so we head from Friday night into Saturday. First wave begins to move in here. Now we're going to start to see a cutoff, but do notice that low pressure really hanging off to our west. That is our upper level low there. As we head into Saturday night into Sunday, here's our cutoff here. We're going to get a little bit of a break Saturday afternoon into into Saturday evening. But then Sunday morning, overnight, Saturday into Sunday, we have another wave that comes through. That one likely to be much heavier as that low pressure here begins to move further north into the region. Now, all right, let's take a look and time some of this out for you. Heading into Friday, here we are. Temperatures much colder. No snowfall arriving just yet. So that's good news. Still time to prepare for Friday, but make sure you bundle up out there. Heading into Friday night into Saturday morning, that's when some snowfall is going to begin to start. This is that first wave. This is imperative to those snowfall totals. If that cold, dry air does eat up some of that moisture, this layer might not be as heavy. So that's very important that we keep an eye on that. But notice these temperatures, nothing to play with out there. Second wave does begin to move in as we head in from Saturday night into Sunday. So again, this is going to be very important that second wave, don't think the snow is over because a second wave will be coming in. All right, let's get a look at your 7-day forecast. Alert days this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, possible alert day Monday due to the extreme cold. And then, Tanya, the snow sticking around for us as we head into next week as well, just because those temperatures are still below freezing.
You know, and there's a wide range of what you could get with snow, but I mean, it all really depends where you live.
Yeah, that's going to make a big factor, and if you're traveling, that's going to be a huge impact as well. So there's going to be some, if you have any travel plans this weekend, please make sure you check those.
Yeah, keep it to a minimum for sure. All right. Well, still ahead, high school basketball season is in full swing. Ben McLeish has highlights on the hardwood from multiple local tournaments. That's up next in sports.
High school basketball season is well underway, and tonight we have a full slate of local tournament games. Starting at the Lancer Classic, Neodesha battles Seneca for a spot in the title game. The Blue Streaks off to a great start. Here's Tiana Sanders with the steal, and she takes it all the way for the easy points. Neodesha up 8-zip. Now the Blue Streaks with some good ball movement. Olivia Morrison is going to muscle her way from the top of the key down inside the paint, banking this one in for the 10-point lead. But the Indians not giving up. Here's Olivia Haas open in the corner. She drains the triple for Seneca, but it's the Blue Streaks moving on with a 63-36 win. Over to the boys bracket, it's Parsons taking on Baxter Springs. The Lions looking to add to a second quarter lead. Isaiah Main pivots and puts it up 4-2. Baxter leading by 5. But Parsons getting a look from 3. That's Andrew Hauk knocking down the tray with the defender in his face to cut the Lion lead. Baxter Springs back on the attack. Riley Daniel with the beautiful bounce pass. Jonathan Moore nails the mid-range jumper. It's a back and forth game, but the Vikings come out on top 51-49. In the 7 o'clock slate, host school Southeast takes on Baxter Springs. Lancers trailing at the end of the first quarter. Emia Gideon with the good look from 3. She knocks it down to cut the deficit to 1 point. With the Lions staying physical, Malaya Avery coming down with the board off her own miss and putting it back up over 4 defenders. We head to the second. Bella Casada lobbing it to Bailey Campbell on the fast break. Campbell finds a soft spot of the defense and lays it in for Baxter. In the boys bracket, Neodesha and Riverton dueling for a spot in the championship. Opening possession for the Blue Streaks. Javante White looking around. He finds Tate Leck down low. Leck lays it in for the game's first score. But the Rams punch right back. Aiden Witherspoon with the ball. Ford taking it all the way to the basket on the fast break. Riverton leads 4-2. Now the Rams passing it around the key. Liam Berge is going to pull up from 3. It rolls around the rim and in. Rams win 68-58. In the Raider Classic, the hosting Frontenac Raiders opening with the battle against Bonner Springs. First quarter Braves leading. Jaden Jones intercepts this pass and takes it the other way, scoring the transition layup to extend the lead. But Frontenac would find its offense in the second quarter, swinging it to Jake Wagner, who drives, shaking off a defender, and scores. And the senior was just getting started. Raiders going back to their big man, and he can't find a teammate, shooting the fadeaway and draining the jumper. But Bonner Springs picks up the win 78-40 over Frontenac. On the girls' side, the Fort Scott Tigers in action taking on Andover. Second quarter, Trojans with the lead on the run in transition. And look at this fake from Bella Budhara as she scores the layup. What a move by the junior. Moving to the second half, Tigers working the ball inside, finding Jace Rogers down low, and the senior goes up and under for the basket. Couple possessions later, Lorelei Clark connects with Kipton Hunksier, who takes a dribble and drains the shot. Andover takes care of business with an 81-45 win. Colgan Panthers girls squad taking the court facing Lafayette. And Jakayla Davis had a monster performance, driving and scoring this floater in a back and forth first quarter. The senior was scoring from everywhere in this one. Later in the quarter, rolls off the screen and fires from deep, draining the triple. Second quarter, Davis out in transition, attacking the lane and sinking to run over a pair of defenders as the Panthers defeat the Lancers 58-43. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
For more than 4 decades, Souls Harbor has served the community as a homeless shelter and resource center in Joplin. It's an organization that relies on the kindness of people to give those in need a hand up. KOAM's Ty Parks takes us there in this week's Doing Good.
For 43 years, Souls Harbor has been a light to those who are in need of help, primarily as a homeless shelter.
So we have some beds that are for emergency use, which are a 90-day stay. People come in and they spend the first 30 days finding a job. And then after they find a job, then they have another additional 60 days to help get their monies together and help them find a place to live.
They have found that since doing the one-year housing, that more people are breaking what they are called the curse of homelessness.
An outreach for the Lord to just reach people where they are, to give them an extra hand, to give them a hand up. So give them some hope.
An outreach that also extends to giving out free items from food to clothes.
So when people need assistance with, their food supply for the month, they can come by here. And then we also have a free store where you can get free clothing or household items or any kind of furniture that you might need if we happen to have it.
Souls Harbor relies on community donations to stock its free store, creating a cycle of local support.
Help one another. Help one another so that we can all survive.
In Joplin.
Souls Harbor is always looking for donated items for their free store and monetary donations as well. Coming up, what's next on the red carpet?
2026 Academy Awards nominations have been announced. Find out who woke up to the exciting news they're now Oscar nominees. I'm Ashley Dvorkin in Hollywood. That's coming up.
Nominees for Hollywood's biggest night have been announced. We have a look at some of those going for the gold at this year's Academy Awards. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Historical horror movie makes history and leads the way to the 2026 Academy Awards.
I don't believe in magic.
Ryan Coogler's supernatural vampire saga Sinners goes into this year's Oscars with 16 nominations, the most of all time, including one for Best Picture. Rounding out the top 10 Best Picture nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams.
You twins? Nah, we cousins.
Sinners star Michael B. Jordan is up for Best Actor for his dual roles. He's joined by Marty Supreme's Timothée Chalamet, now the youngest male actor to earn 3 Oscars acting nods, plus Leonardo DiCaprio from One Battle After Another, Blue Moon's Ethan Hawke, and Wagner Moura of The Secret Agent. Best Actress contenders are Hamnet's Jessie Buckley, Rose Byrne of If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Song Sung Blue's Kate Hudson, Renata Reinsve of Sentimental Value, and Begonia's Emma Stone. Both Elle Fanning and Inga Ibsdottir Lilis of Sentimental Value are up for supporting Best Actress. In another horror entry, so is weapon star Amy Madigan, Wunmi Mosaku of Sinners, and Tiana Taylor of One Battle After Another.
No fear.
Taylor's co-stars Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn go for the gold in supporting male actor, along with Frankenstein's Jacob Elordi, from Sinners Delroy Lindo, and Sentimental Values Stellan Skarsgård. Joining Coogler in directing achievements are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, and Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value.
Winners of all categories, including the newly added Best Casting, will be revealed March 15th at the 98th Academy Awards on ABC and Hulu, hosted by Conan O'Brien. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of animals enjoying the snow at the John Ball Zoo in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Look at them. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.